Oh, good shit. Let's try to do something more terrestrial for the time being. We're having a fucking weird enough show as it is. You know what? Let's talk about. I haven't mentioned it in a long time because I really haven't been watching many of the shows recently. But we talked about this when it happened, so I think it's interesting enough to do a follow-up. If you guys don't remember, man, Joe Rogan signed a deal with Spotify to move his podcast over there for $100 million because he was getting tired of Susan's bullshit on YouTube. And I get that. YouTube's a pain in the ass. I'm on Twitch right now. You know, I understand that. But I would assume part of the reason to move there is to get away from the things that were causing him problems on YouTube. Unsurprisingly, being on Spotify has not worked out all that much differently, realistically. And in fact, it may be worse. Even though they gave him $100 million, it's not looking good. As it turns out, a bunch of people that listen to Spotify, work at Spotify, are very offended by the Joe Rogan Experience. Now, my question is, number one, if you work at a platform that hosts podcasts, you've definitely heard Joe Rogan's show at some point. That's part of your industry that's worthy fucking research. Secondly, it's the most popular podcast in the world. There's a fair shot you've heard at least one of them at some point anyway. Number two, what do you think he came to you know what I mean? They knew what they were getting into. Let's put it that way, right? He has... Well, it's more than 1,000 fucking shows, right? There's plenty of material to look at. But all of a sudden, now they don't want to import old shows, or they want to censor current shows. They want him to not have certain guests because it's controversial, this and that, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure you can guess it flows primarily in one direction. You know how that shit goes these days. But either way, the point is, he did not sign that deal for that. And now Spotify is having to decide whether or not to backpedal. Now, at first, Spotify was said, no, fuck it. We paid $100 million for this motherfucker. We want people listening. You know what I mean?
Right.
We knew damn good and well what his opinions were. We know what kind of guests he has on. It's not the most popular podcast in the world for no reason whatsoever. So to come in and act like suddenly you get to fucking edit how that show goes, well, what the hell did you pick it up for? I'll tell you exactly what I'm talking about. That would be like me signing a Netflix deal for Golf City and giving away creative control so that they can make it what they want it to be. And why the fuck would you do that? The reason it's worth what it's worth is because I made it this way. So for you to change it just makes it hollow bullshit corporate knockoff nonsense, which is exactly what the fuck is going on here if it were to get to a point where that's how it goes. Number one, Joe Rogan already had to apologize for one of his fucking something about trans people or something. I don't know.
Jesus.
And you know, once you open that door, it never fucking ends, man. So I don't like how this is going, dude.
I feel like if you're the type of person who's going to work for a media outlet, who's responsible for putting out media, a platform that's responsible for putting out media, you should have thicker skin than that.
I mean, you'd like to think so. You'd like to think so, but motherfuckers
free speech.
Oh, boy. I know.
You're supposed to be the champion of it at this point, you know? And instead, you're looking to squelch it?
Just why does everybody think they're the fucking police? Everybody thinks they're the fucking police, man. You know what I'm saying?
And yet they want to defund the police a lot of the time.
Yeah, isn't that the case? How much fucking overlap there is. I'd like to see that Venn diagram. But it gets worse for Joe Rogan. Now the Spotify employees are threatening to strike if Spotify refuses to censor Joe Rogan. You're telling me that now the people that work at Spotify are gonna walk if they don't come in and drop the censorship hammer on somebody whose platform is about free speech. Someone who's a free speech proponent. You know what I mean? After they gave him $100 million. You telling me you paid $100 million for a cantaloupe just to empty that motherfucker out and put the husk back together? That's bullshit. And if I was Joe Rogan, I wouldn't play that noise at all. In fact, I'd breach contract if I have to and back the fuck out. It's not like he'll be broke. He wasn't broke. You know what I mean? I mean, Twitch is okay, Joe. I'm just saying.
Twitch ain't bad.
It really ain't that bad. I don't know.
It might be bad for him though, because he's got a higher profile.
That's certainly true. Yeah, I mean, it's not as simple as it is for us as it is that at that level. But what I will say is this, man. If all these employees are threatening to strike and Spotify can truly put facts over feelings here and go for the fucking profit margin as is their job, there are hundreds of people who would love to work at Spotify. Let these assholes go. Hire new kids and make your fucking money. Because if you keep Joe Rogan on without censoring him, you will profit. Period, Spotify. I don't know how you don't see that. I don't know how you don't see that. Even if people start to hate him for not being censored, that double start. Oh, hold up.
Will be unto his name.
Hold the fuck up, man. That looks so weird. Stop.
Quacks in the chat.
Quacks in the chat.
Quacks in the chat.
So, yeah, Spotify should get paid, is what I'm saying. You should say, fuck those guys. You don't have to work here. That's your choice. You choose to leave if you like. Spotify spent $100 million. They should make the money. Anyway, that's all I have to say.
I'm not a criminal. I'm an artist working in an unpopular medium.
Can I just speak to you? I mean, really speak to you like man to man. I've known you for a long time, William. And I know about your penchant for